Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we need to make an arrangement for Easter. It's just an arrangement that they would like to send to a friend, kind of in Easter colors, so that's what we're going to work on today. This is a glass vase filled with fresh water, a touch of fresh flower food. I'm going to start out by adding a little bit of leather leaf foliage. I'm taking my floral knife and I am going to cut these stems at an angle, and I'm just tucking it right down into the vase. When you're making an arrangement, you want to just try to keep any foliage or flowers from falling below the water line. That's just going to keep that water fresh for longer. And if you receive flowers, or if you make flowers for yourself at home, you're going to want to change out that water about every other day. Give those stems a fresh cut, put them in fresh water, and they will last longer for you. So here is just a little bit of leather leaf all the way around in this vase. So I just put leather all the way around. Next I'm going to come in with some hydrangeas. So I have some beautiful white hydrangeas. I'm going to take them and remove the foliage. And I say on roses, leave the foliage on if you can. But on hydrangeas, we usually try to pull that foliage off because with a hydrangea, it is water loving. Hence the name hydrangea. And so we like to take those leaves off so that the water goes directly to the head of the flower instead of to the leaves first. So I'm just taking these stems, cutting them at an angle, and tucking them. I just can't get it to hit the, there we go, hit the bottom of the vase, tucking those right down into that vase of water. Now often you see me dip these in quick dip. I don't have it in here today, but these are going directly into fresh water. They will be fine. So I'm cutting that stem at an angle and tucking that right into that vase. So I have white hydrangeas all the way around. Next we're going to come in with our blue delphinium as a line flower. So we got in, and it's tight, so that's actually kind of nice. We got in beautiful blue delphinium, and it's always nice when it comes in a little tight because that gives it time to open up for the client. I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle. We're going to tuck him right down into the center of that vase. I'm going to take my next stem, cut it at an angle, and tuck him in. And then this one's more open, but it's so beautiful. This color is so lovely, I think. And I am going to tuck him in. So what I like to do is leave one taller and then kind of stair step down with my other two. When you're making an arrangement and you're using tall line flower, you want to work in odd numbers. And the reason is because if you work with an even number, it almost looks like antenna, like a little bug's antenna. So you always want to kind of be aware of that. If you only use two flowers in the front that look like eyes, you just need to be aware that you don't want any creatures looking back at you when you've designed a pretty flower arrangement. Next, I'm going to come in with these beautiful roses. So they're kind of a yellow color, but they have like a little tint of orange on the tips, which is so pretty. I'm going to take a florist wire. So this is 21 gauge wire. I'm going to press it right into that calyx, and I'm going to wire that stem. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my floral knife, and I'm going to remove any of the thorns that might bite me. Now that does not make this flower last longer. It is just for my safety alone. So I just go ahead and remove it with my floral knife. Now I'm going to take this flower, and I want him to stand up. He's going to stand up kind of tall in this arrangement. So I like to hold the stem kind of on the edge of the counter, off the counter, and see roughly where I think I need to cut it. It just kind of gives you a little bit of a measurement. Now over the years, I don't necessarily have to do that anymore, but it does kind of give you a measurement of, it kind of helps you know where to cut the stem. I'm going to take my second stem. I'm pulling off a little bit of the foliage, and then I'm running that knife down that stem and removing those thorns. Grab a floral wire, and this is a full length, so I'm going to take my scissors and cut that in half. Press that into that calyx and wrap it right around that stem. And I think I'm just going to step down with this rose, so I'm going to have it kind of right up underneath the head of that one, right about there. Grab my floral knife, cut it in an angle. So you can still see him from the front, but you can see him from the back side too. All right, the next flowers we have, let's see. I have got some beautiful Lisianthus. So this is actually almost a mauve colored Lisianthus, just kind of a pinky mauvey color. I'm going to take those stems and I am going to tuck those right down into that vase. I'm just cutting that stem at an angle. All right, so I am going to finish adding our Lisianthus. So I did 3 stems of Lizzie, but the nice part about Lizzie is you can cut it apart and use it as 2 stems. All right, our next flower, we're going to add a little solidago. So solidago is an aster, a yellow aster. And so for me, I love solidago because it's long lasting. I'm going to take my floral knife and cut that stem at an angle and just tuck it in. Now when you think about filler flower is filling up any of those voided spots. So any place that that has a little dark spot or even is kind of empty, you can add any kind of filler flower there. And honestly, I don't think I need 3 pieces, so I'm going to set 1 piece to the side. Next, let's see. I've got beautiful pinky, it's kind of a pinky purple, almost a fuchsia color, Veronica. So Veronica has a little bit of a movement to it, which I like, and so kind of a little curly Q. I'm going to take it, cut that stem at an angle, and I am just going to, I'm going to use it almost as a little bit of a line flower. And it will, it seems a little droopy, but it does, that's just its growth pattern, so it's okay. And I actually like its little movement in that arrangement. Next, we're going to use a flower called Scabiosa. So if you've ever heard me talk about my little gray cat, his name is Osa, and he was named for this flower in particular. And so it's just a beautiful cone-shaped flower, really pretty. Now there are also Scabiosa pods that are really fun to work with, kind of a grayish color, but Scabiosa flowers are really beautiful. Now they do come in a good many colors. They come in purple, so this is kind of a plum color that's lovely. They come in a pink. They come in white, but they're really a pretty flower. And they grow pretty easily in your garden. So if you ever wanted to try to grow Scabiosa, you could certainly grow that in your garden. So I tucked a couple on one side and 1 on the opposite side. Next, we're going to come in with, these are ranunculus. So they're fairly tight, but as they warm up, they will open up. Now a ranunculus, when it opens, has lots of beautiful petals that almost resemble ruffles on a little girl's dress. And so I thought this little pop of orange might be fun for an Easter arrangement. All right, so there's our little pop of orange with that ranunculus. And then lastly, we're going to add just a touch of this pretty astilbe. Now, astilbe reminds you a little bit of solidago. It's just kind of a creamy colored, feathery looking. It has a few little bumps and bruises, so that's what I'm pulling off there. But it's kind of a feathery, fun little filler flower. And I liked that it was kind of creamy, so it reminds you a little bit it kind of pulls the color of the hydrangeas in. And I'm just tucking this in for another little texture. All right, so there's our arrangement. It has beautiful flowers all the way around. It includes white hydrangeas, pink lysianthus. It has the purple scabiosa flower. It has veronica, kind of a pink color, blue delphinium as a line, and yellow roses, orange ranunculus. What else? We have solidago. And so just a really pretty mixture, almost a garden themed mixture. Now, because this is for Easter, I am going to pull some Easter ribbon. Just fun little Easter ribbon. So this is some ribbon that we have over on our Shopify website, Flowers by the Bunch at Shopify. We have lots of beautiful ribbon there. And so this is our little Easter egg ribbon. And then we have, this is a lavender colored faux du peony ribbon, which I love. And then this is an Easter plaid, which I thought was so pretty. It's kind of got a baby blue and a lavender, a yellow, and a pink. So we're going to start out, I'm just going to make a loopy bow layering ribbon. I'm going to start out with my Easter eggs. And I'm going to, the print is facing me. I'm going to make a loop, a twist, a loop, a twist, and a loop. Okay? I'm going to cut that. So there's 3 loops there. And then I'm going to take my lavender and I'm going to lay it right on the back side. Now, if you have a hard time holding this ribbon, you can absolutely tie this off and then make the next bow. I usually just layer it. So I'm taking my purple and laying it right on the back side. And I'm going to make a loop, a twist, a loop, and a twist. And so I'm just doing 2 loops of the lavender.
So did you want to go to the place you were now anyway? Sure. Okay.
Just make a little note out.
And then here is our little plaid, and I'm going to do a couple of loops of it.
And she likes.
I love this little Eastery, this spring colored plaid. It's so pretty to me. All right, so there's all our little loops.
Well, whatever this.
Whatever.
Kind of gives it really fun Eastery bow. I'm going to take a little piece of florist wire. I've cut it in half. I always feel like you don't need the whole piece. You are always cutting it off, so I just cut mine in half. I put it on that bow, and I'm tying it off just like that.
Behind you we have the sizes for the
Okay.
wrist corsage. Not really sizes, I guess the bands.
So there's our pretty bow. Now I am going to take a wooden pick. It's called a Coe wood pick. It's about 6 inches, and it does have a little piece of wire. I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to wrap it right around that stem, the wire that I tied the bow off. I wrapped it right around the stem. And then I am wrapping the wire that's attached to the stem right to that pick. So there's our pretty bow. And then I'm going to turn my arrangement and find where I want that bow to go. I think we're going to go here. So I just nestled it right down beside that white hydrangea, and there is our pretty Easter bow. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you have any questions about how we do things here at the shop, you can always drop that right here in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do that. If you hit that little subscribe button, and the little bell will give you notifications for when we have a new video. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you soon.